Happy New Year, everyone. I've moved from my A5 spring cousin to the A6 hobonichi, and a little challenging, I have to say. I had a bunch of requests to flip through this whole thing, so I'm going to do that, but this isn't going to be everybody's cup of tea. So, if you're not interested in, looking at the whole thing, I totally understand. And it's just not going to be for everybody, and you'll probably just want to click out. I did start using the A6, which is considerably smaller. I have it in this is a Vera Bradley item. It's a discontinued paperback cover, but they're readily available on eBay. I think they have a bigger one called the Good Book cover, which was a Bible cover. I believe this is a smaller one. I had originally thought I could use that for this one. I must have been way off on my measuring, but it actually fits the A6 similarly to how the cover did. It doesn't have a lot of pockets. It just has a slot here and a slot here, and the ribbon marker. So it's definitely an option. They range in price on eBay depending on, I guess, the popularity of the pattern. I don't think mine was more than $20. It might have even been less. So before I start this, I want to just talk briefly, really briefly, about how it's going in the A6. I wish with the A6 that they did full-size pages. It's only a week's worth of pages, whereas I think, if I'm remembering right, I'm not sure. I guess these were half pages too, but there's so much more room. These are very small. I mean, it's almost like you can't start planning normally a little bit ahead of time. I think it would have worked out to not have these half pages for me, or to have full pages in the smaller size. But, I mean, as you can see, I'm doing some, to-do stuff, some list stuff, and I got a little frustrated because of the size. It was so much smaller than I was used to, so I kind of was doing the favorite thing I ate that day. I did drawings of these. I did an omelet, I did a knockwurst, I did some bulletproof coffee. If you're not familiar with that, just you can Google it. And I had gotten my favorite tea, first time in a couple of years, and did a little picture for that. And then it has a page of notes for January, and this was January 1st, which I'm going to try to focus on letting go here. And I just did a little picture for that, and a few to-dos that I had, and another little picture. This one actually isn't done, but kind of liking these balloons floating away with negative things in my life. So this one says, "Goodbye, clutter." So that's that. That's all we have. And for anybody who's not interested in the full hobonichi monty, it'd be a good time to cut. I mean, I've talked about all of this before, so I'm really not going to talk about anything unless there's something I haven't talked about. These were from the Hobonichi store. You know, there's sort of like clear stickable Post-its, and I was having trouble. Let me see if I can see. I was having trouble finding something that would work on here. I think they said like pigment ink, like micron pens, but pencils actually work really well on this. I was surprised. So initially I didn't think these were going to be really useful, but when I was able to find a pen that I could use, they were better. I didn't use the yearly calendar as much as I used to in my Filofax. I'm really not sure why that is, and my plan is to use it more in 2015 because it was a really useful resource for me to find dates of important things. Certainly easier than going through this whole thing. So I'm planning on being quiet when there's really nothing to say. I didn't do a lot of little pictures in here. I really preferred to do it on the on my DIY fish monthly pages, but I did do some drawings when I felt like it. This is a this is from Hobonichi. They come in sets of 2. They're nice. Paper's nice and smooth, not as thin as Midori paper, and not Tomo River paper, but definitely a nice notebook. This is the pencil board. You know, I got this in the A5 and the A6 size. I'm really not crazy about it. I don't like that it's dark, so I wasn't. You know, I would have preferred it was something light with dark lines so that I could put, you know, something behind it and really see. And the other thing is, it's like exactly the same size. So once things get big, this gets pushed out. I wish this was just shy of the size of the page. I even thought about cutting it down. Same thing with the A6. It's identically sized, which in one sense, you know, kind of figures, but in another one, it's always hanging out somewhere. This is 2015. I definitely like that Hobonichi gives you extra dated pages for forward planning. I didn't use my months like I did in any other system. I really only used them when there was something I needed to prepare for, like a trip, or you know, something I was keeping track of, like dog pictures or something like that. But I didn't use it as a planner. The version that I have this year doesn't have the weeks, and I wasn't going to buy it because of that. And then I thought, wow, you know, I really didn't really use it much. I mean, I sort of used it sporadically, you know, to document the drawings I did, but a lot of it is just blank. So, oh, my hands do not quite look this purple. Lighting is beyond me. So, I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of blank pages, so I thought it was safe to try one that didn't have this. I could certainly put any of the information that was in here somewhere else and be able to access it. So this was the beginning of the monthly section, and I bought this, I think about a month, almost a month in maybe, and it was already like a little past this when I got it, so I was just using the extra pages for pen tests and trying out new nail polish and I don't know, some quick sketches and things, and taping stuff in. This was a project I was tracking with the DIY fish page, and I think this was probably when I really started, which was in May, and the cousin version started in March. And this was primarily a planner for me. You know, I went back and forth, like when I was on vacation, I did a lot of like capturing moments or, you know, memorabilia or things that I did. I really had never done that before. I had never been a journaler. And I really, really, really love being able to look back on this stuff. The planning I did for this trip was in the weekly area. And then I sort of went back to, you know, having it be my planner. And I have to say, it really, I mean, it worked for me surprisingly well. I've always been, you know, like I was always faffing around with the inserts and always looking for new ones and always punching all kinds of stuff. And to be honest, it's like a relief not to be doing that. I mean, if I go to a store that has pages that normally maybe I would have bought and punched, like I don't have to do that anymore. It's like I don't have to even think anymore. Between this and the Midori, it's, I don't know, there's something like relaxing about it. Everything I need to know is in here. If I needed to bring information, I just had to bring one book. It wasn't overly giant. I could do pictures, I could doodle, I did all my planning. I know a lot of people don't use it as a planner, but you know, this was my planner. I kept my recipes in here, and I tabbed the recipes so I could find them. And some days I didn't use it. Some days I didn't need a planner. Some days I didn't feel like writing. You know, there are blank days in here. You know, some days don't, some of my days anyway, you know, don't need to be documented. But I did a lot of drawings, and, you know, on days that were slow, I tended to doodle. Most of my doodling didn't come from me sitting down and doodling. It was sort of a matter of trying to plan my day and then, I don't know, doodling while I was working everything out in my head. This year got so thick because I was adding so much stuff. It was a significant number of pages with added stuff. And I'm trying not to do that this year. I'm trying to, if I want to do any doodling, instead of doing it somewhere else and pasting it in, I'm trying to just doodle in the A6, because I had a few months left of this, but I couldn't even write on it anymore. It was just too bulky and too cumbersome. So instead of printing out recipes, I'm going to try to write them in. I'm going to try to keep this edition stuff to a minimum. I love it, it's fun, but I lost a couple months. And I'll show you on the last page, you know, it was getting really hard to write on this side. At some point, looks like not a busy time. These are some more DIY fish pages. Some watercolor pencil tests. I love these things. These are just the best thing for, these on a brush pen are just awesome. And when I had blank pages, that's where I went in and did things like pen tests. I didn't have a specific section. I put in cards and postcards and tags and clippings. Pictures. I planned lots of different ways. I used lists. I used pages that I cut from DIY Fish. I made grids. I mean, the open space can be a little intimidating. On the other hand, you can really do whatever it is you need to do that day. And I guess that worked for me. Some more of my dog drawings, a lot of my dog drawings. I sort of kept track of them in here. I never found the perfect way to do it though, so I'll still on that quest this year. This was another vacation. I didn't plan all that well for this one, but I did put a load of stuff on there like I did last time. Another picture, that's a favorite. More cards, more pen tests, more. This was a recipe, but I did it in pictures. And this was, Joey was tough at first, and there wasn't a lot of planning because there wasn't a lot of even leaving the house. But I wrote, this was the first time I really did sort of like the diary format of how she was doing and how she was improving and things that were driving me crazy. And I think I did it for maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. Talked all about how Joey was doing. And then I did some penmanship practice, although my penmanship never got that good and seemed to get worse the longer I did it. So I kind of gave up on that. And this was a coffee maker that I got, and I was very excited, and it broke in 2 days and went back. I was pretty upset. see, this is to the point where this is the end of November, and it's really getting hard to write on this. And it's close to the time I just really said I can't do it, because I started writing less and less, and I had to sort of make myself do it, because writing on this side was really difficult and not pleasant. You can see. I mean, I couldn't put the paperboard in because it would be, you know, like at a slant. So I was just doodling. I mean, really, and I had taken to writing things on Post-its and sticking them in. It was just really difficult. And I think this is coming to the end here. I did some little pictures. I bought some wax melt hearts. I thought that was cute. I did some more in here. I thought that I would use the rest of it to paste things, and that I like tea bag, you know, the individually wrapped tea bags and the things from the wax melts, and you know, to sort of keep track of what I ordered, not to just keep track of it, but so that I wouldn't buy it again because it had gotten so crazy big. But in the end, I just decided that that was just enough. This might have been the last day. I think this was like the last couple of days. I just said that was enough. I mean, I think this day was just enough. And I've just got stuff in here. And mostly the rest of it is blank. So that is that. Not sure if I can make a go of this, honestly. It's very small, but I'm definitely going to try and give it, you know, a few months, and if I just can't make it work, I can always buy the spring cousin again. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate people who take time out of their day to watch this and comment, and it makes me happy. And I hope you get something out of the videos as well. So I guess that's it. And I'm sort of waiting for everybody to do their, you know, their 2014 wrap-ups and flip-throughs as well. Have a great day, guys. Bye.